The combat evaluation arena fell silent. A gray rank F trainee stood opposite a polished C rank senior who had been mocking him for weeks, and today he meant to make it final.
You've been hiding from me. Time to show everyone what a rank F0 really looks like.
Don't flinch. Let him strike first. The recoil will taste even sweeter.
Daisuke lunged with a brutal overhead swing. Sora's block stopped it dead, as if he had all the time in the world. Before Daisuke could recover, Sora's blade snapped against his wrist, disarming him with surgical precision. The second strike swept Daisuke's legs, dropping him to the mat in a crash of limbs. The third motion placed a wooden sword point at Daisuke's throat, freezing the entire arena. The instructors stared. One's pen clattered. A stunned voice said, "That's an advanced counter. No rookie learns that."
I am sorry. I misjudged my strength. Please, let me help you up.
He walked to the trainee benches without looking back. On the balcony, the intelligence chief watched, and a small, knowing smile touched her lips. The trainee dormitory was a cramped cell, but tonight it felt smaller. Sora shut the door, and the echoes of the arena died.
That was too close. I showed them too much. But that woman on the balcony, she knew.
From beneath his mattress, he withdrew a folded paper, its creases deepened by years of handling.
6 names crossed out. 1 line still blank. I've hunted them for 6 years.
His mother, Kyoko, had been a researcher who found evidence the association wanted buried. 6 years ago, they silenced her in an alley.
I was 10. I saw them leave. The president hid me, but he couldn't hide the rage. I chose this path.
Enrolling as a nameless rank F trainee at 13, he became invisible. The conspirators never looked twice at a boy in dull gray.
The 7th name is the key. The one who gave the order. I have suspects, but no proof yet. Once I have a face, I won't stop. Not until the last name bleeds red.
He folded the list with the precision of a ritual and slid it back under the mattress. The room was silent again. 6 years ago, his mother stood in a laboratory much like this one, chasing truths the association wanted buried. Her son, 10 and quiet, often watched from the corner. She called him her little shadow. One night, an alley swallowed her. Sora hid behind crates, hand clamped over his mouth as the light left her eyes.
Don't scream. Don't move. Don't look.
Afterward, a man with graying hair knelt in a secret room. The president's coat bore the weight of failure.
I'll protect you. A new home, a new name. Forget you were ever my son.
At 13, the boy looked into a mirror and saw no child, only a weapon waiting to be forged. He enrolled as a rank F trainee under a name that meant nothing. The gray uniform became armor. He signed a name that belonged to no one and pulled on the faded gray trainee uniform. The conspirators never noticed a rankless boy. The gray uniform became his skin. The list became his heartbeat, and the hunt began. The training grounds emptied after dusk. Sora stayed, blade cutting moonlight into silver arcs.
No one watches a rankless trainee. That's why I push harder than anyone.
Techniques that would snap other trainees into applause, he perfected alone. 6 years of silent accumulation. Back in his room, the list lay open. The red pen hovered, then struck through the 6th name.
6 down. The 7th slot pulls at me like a splinter under skin.
He spread other papers beside it, patrol schedules, clearance logs, and a single photograph of a balcony smile.
Intelligence Chief Mira. She has access, motive, and she's been watching me. Too long to be coincidence.
He traced a line from her office to the alley where his mother died. It was circumstantial, but it fit.
I can't wait any longer. If she's innocent, I'll find out. If she's the one, then the last name bleeds tonight.
He composed a coded request through a buried channel, a private meeting with Mira. No escorts, no record. The intelligence wing slept under thin fluorescent light. Sora counted doors until the one that mattered.
She didn't refuse the meeting. She's waiting. That means she's either innocent or very, very sure.
The door opened without resistance. Mira sat at her desk, fingers interlaced, a small smile already in place.
You are early. I appreciate punctuality in a trainee who hides so much.
I am not here to trade pleasantries. You know why I came.
I know you think I am a conspirator. You've carried that belief for weeks. Tell me, Sora, have you considered that my silence might be protection?
She knows my name, my real name. This isn't a game of shadows. She's already inside my circle. Then answer me directly. Who ordered the murder of Kyoko? Give me the 7th name.
That name is a key that unlocks a room you are not ready to enter. I can't give it to you. Not yet.
The silence between them thickened, charged with all the words she would not say. Sora's fingers curled around the hilt of his training sword. The gesture was not a threat, not yet, but it closed the distance between them.
You know why I am here. You have a name I've hunted for 6 years. Give it to me or admit you are part of what killed her.
I've known who you really are since the day you enrolled, Sora, the president's son, buried under a false name.
She's not guessing. She knows. Only my father and I had that secret.
I was your mother's closest ally. The night she died, I lost my best friend. Since then, protecting you has been the only mission that matters.
You expect me to believe that? You, the intelligence chief who smiles from a balcony while I bleed?
I watched you dismantle Daisuke with the same precision your mother used to dismantle corruption. You are her son in every way.
Sora's hand slowly released the sword. The name of his mother, spoken here, was a crack in his armor.
If you were her friend, then prove it. Give me the 7th name. If you are protecting me, then tell me what I am up against.
That name is the only thing keeping you alive. The moment you learn it, the safety I built will shatter.
The file was thick with years of buried intelligence. Sora recognized his own face on the first page.
Every report that flagged you as a threat, I buried. Every hunter sent to monitor you, I reassigned.
She slid a stack of documents across the desk, canceled surveillance orders, redacted kill requests, all dating back 6 years.
This is more than protection. She's been fighting a hidden war for my sake.
Your foster placement wasn't random. I chose the man who raised you because he seemed gentle. I thought he'd keep you safe.
She pulled out a worn photograph. Mira and Kyoko, arms around each other, laughing.
My mother trusted you. She smiled like that with you, and you say you couldn't save her. If this is true, then who is the 7th? Why can't she speak the name?
The 7th name belongs to someone who raised you. If I tell you now, the shock will make you reckless, and you'll die.
Sora's hand hovered over the photograph. He was no longer looking at an enemy. He was looking at a wound. Mira let go of a breath she'd held for 6 years. The silence that followed was not empty. It was the weight of a name.
Ren, your foster father is the 7th conspirator. He was placed with you as a watcher from the beginning.
She slid one final sheet across the desk. A surveillance assignment signed by Ren. The date was the day Sora moved in.
Ren, the man who taught me to hold a sword, who sat at dinner every night. He was a watcher, a murderer.
He saw glimpses of their kitchen, Ren's gentle smile over a shared meal. Every memory now a betrayal. What he once thought was kindness now refracted into a staged performance. Every word a note in a surveillance log.
You let him hold me. You let him become my family. For what? To use me as bait.
I didn't know. Not until 3 years ago. By then, removing him would have tipped off the entire faction. I kept him calm while I built your case.
Every night, I sat across from him. Every word I said, he reported, and I called him my guardian.
The office fell into a deeper darkness, as if the truth had dimmed the monitors. Sora's hand finally found the list in his pocket. Sora left the office without another word. The corridor outside felt narrower, the walls pressing in with every step.
I can't face Ren alone. Not after this. He'll see it in my eyes.
He stopped in a maintenance stairwell. The cold metal rail under his hands was the only solid thing left.
6 years of hunting alone. But Ren isn't a name on a paper. He's a heartbeat in the same house.
He saw Ren's gentle smile from 1,000 shared meals, each one now a mask over a surveillance log. He pulled out the list. The 7th line stared back, blank. He could fill it now. But what then?
I've never trusted him. My father, the president who hid me and walked away. But right now, he's the only one who can finish this. I hand him the case. All the evidence. Let him act as president for once.
The alley behind the trainee barracks was always empty at this hour. He let the silence weigh on him. Then let it go. He composed the signal that would reach Soji in an hour. The die was cast. The meeting place was a bunker beneath the presidential wing. Suji was already there, his silhouette bent over the table.
You called this meeting. That means you have the last name. Who is it?
Sora slid a folder across the wood. It held everything Mira had given him and the list.
Ren, my foster father. He was placed with me as a watcher. He's the 7th conspirator.
Suji's hand closed on the edge of the table. For a long moment he said nothing. Then his fist slammed down.
I trusted him with your life, and he was their eyes the entire time.
I didn't come here for your guilt. I came for your action. Expose him. Purge the association. Now?
Suji slowly straightened. The weight of 6 years of silence seemed to settle on his shoulders.
We'll need to move within the week. An emergency assembly, live broadcast. I'll name every conspirator. Ren will be arrested on camera.
Sora folded the list and put it away for the first time in 6 years. He wasn't hunting alone. The door of the foster home opened to a familiar warmth. Ren's smile was in place, but tonight it felt like a painted set.
You are late. I saved dinner. Rough day at training.
He's fishing. Every word he offers is a hook.
At the table, food steamed between them. Sora's appetite had vanished hours ago.
You've been quiet since that evaluation. Distracted. Is something on your mind?
Just tired. Trying to keep up with the C ranks. You know how hard they push.
Ren's knife paused. A faint scrape on porcelain. His eyes never left Sora's face.
Strange. I heard you dismantled Daisuke in 3 moves. That doesn't sound like someone struggling.
He knows. Not everything, but enough to make me a target. He's testing how close I've come to the truth.
The rest of the meal passed in hollow clinks and careful swallows. 2 masks, 1 house, no trust. The dishes were cleared, but the weight remained. Sora made for the stairs. Ren's voice pinned him.
Sora, a moment. Before you disappear.
He wants a private performance. Fine.
They sat in the dim living room. Ren's posture was casual, but his fingers tapped a rhythm that didn't match his calm voice.
You've been coming in late. Training, you say. But I checked. The training grounds close at 9. Where were you last night?
The library. There's a back entrance through the maintenance wing. I didn't think it mattered.
Ren's eyes didn't blink. He knew every back exit in this building. He had mapped them for the faction years ago.
The library. Of course. Funny. I asked the night guard. He didn't see any trainee.
He's bluffing. Or he already knows. Either way, I can't crack here.
Sora stood and offered an ultimatum. If Ren didn't trust him, he'd find another place to sleep. Ren's smile returned, but it didn't reach his eyes. After midnight, Sora ghosted into Ren's study. Every creaking floorboard was a risk he had memorized.
1 hour until he wakes. Find it now or wait another week.
The seam behind the bookshelf was too straight. His fingers found the latch. A transmitter glowed inside, faint red light. Lines of encrypted messages scrolling silently.
Coordinates, patrol routes, and a receipt for the alley where my mother died, signed with his cipher.
Sora photographed each log, hands steady. The communicator's click, the only sound.
Enough. If I stay another minute, I'll be caught.
He replaced the panel, swept the dust, and vanished into the dark hallway in his room. He sent a coded pulse, evidence confirmed. 3 words that would end a man.
He'll act soon. I'll watch his face when they take him. That's my reward.
Before dawn, Sora tapped the final code into his communicator. The screen confirmed. Plan active. Assembly in 4 hours.
The signal is live. By noon, the president will name every conspirator.
In the morning, the house felt dead. No smell of coffee, no warm greeting from the kitchen. Only a heavy stillness.
You didn't sleep well either, I imagine.
He's dropped the pretense. This cold civility is his real face.
Ren's gaze tracked Sora from the stairs to the hallway, a hunter measuring distance. His fingers tapped once, then stopped.
I slept fine. I need to get to training.
Of course. I am sure you'll have a very eventful day.
The front door stood between them. Neither moved to close it. The house had become a chessboard.
He knows. He doesn't know when, but he feels the trap closing, and he's daring me to spring it.
Sora returned after dark. The house was silent, the air heavy with finality. Ren stood by the window, backlit by the city glow. No smile, no pretense, only a cold, waiting statter.
Sit down. It's time we stopped pretending.
He wants to talk his way out. Let him. I'll listen to a dead man's last excuse.
I didn't choose this. The faction would have killed us both if I'd shown any mercy.
Mercy? You fed them my mother's location. You reported every conversation. That's not protection. That's betrayal.
Ren's mask cracked. For a moment, something pained flickered behind his eyes.
You think you can trust Suji? He'll bury the truth. He always has.
He's my father. And tomorrow, the world will see what you really are.
Sora turned and walked out. Ren whispered, "I did love you, Sora." But Sora didn't stop. The door closed, and the house went dark. Before light, Sora found Suji in the bunker. No words were needed. They both knew the hour had come.
I've received your evidence. Everything is in order. Today, I undo 6 years of silence.
Name them all. Don't hold back. Ren deserves no mercy.
At sunrise, the assembly hall filled. Faces of hunters and officials, tense and unaware.
Citizens, hunters, I speak today of a corruption rotting at our core.
On the screens behind him, faces appeared. 6 conspirators, their crimes detailed. The hall gasped.
And the 7th, the hidden hand, Ren, a man who pretended kindness while serving as their watcher.
A murmur turned to anger as Ren's gentle smile filled the screen, now a mask of deceit. Sora stood at the back, fists clenched, every name a release. The president's voice cut through. Enforcers are moving now. The purge begins. The broadcast cut to a live feed. Enforcers surrounding a familiar house. Ren's home, the last conspirator's sanctuary. Inside, Ren stood exactly where Sora had left him. He didn't run. He watched the door with cold patience. Enforcers breached, weapons drawn. Ren raised his hands slowly, a thin smile on his lips.
I always knew this moment would come. But I didn't expect you to be watching, Sora.
He's speaking to me. Even now, he wants the last word.
Ren was cuffed and led into the street. His eyes found the lens, and for a pulse, Sora felt the weight of that stare.
6 years ended in a single broadcast. The list is complete. Why does it feel hollow?
Sora's fist unclenched. The tension that had lived in his shoulders for years began to dissolve, leaving only silence. The feed cut back to the assembly, but Sora was already turning away. There was nothing left to see. Ren was taken. The conspiracy had fallen, and in the back of a crowded hall, Sora let himself breathe.
Before we adjourn, the man who uncovered this betrayal deserves his true name. My son, Sora.
The crowd parted. Sora stepped into the light, and for the first time in 6 years, he was not invisible.
He lived under a false name, trained in silence, and brought justice to those who murdered his mother, Kyoko.
Later, at the graduation hall, Sora wore a new uniform. With steady hands, he peeled the faded rank FF patch from his chest. President Soji pinned the S-Rank insignia on his son, the youngest in association history.
You earned this, Sora. Your mother would be proud.
Pride feels heavier than the badge. I didn't do this for glory. I did it for her name on my list.
The hall applauded, but Sora's gaze found the balcony. Mira watched, her smile soft.
She protected me. She gave me the last name. Now I am truly free.
The hidden sun became the association's brightest star, but Sora's eyes were already on the next unwritten future. The day after the ceremony, President Suji placed a high executive insignia on his desk. "This is yours now," he said.
You've earned the right to lead. An executive seat, command over hunters. You can shape the association.
Power from the top didn't stop my mother's murder. It won't stop the next conspiracy. I don't want an office. I want the training grounds. Let me teach the next generation to watch for corruption from inside.
Suji looked at his son, then at the badge, a long silence, then a slow nod. A week later, Sora stood on the dusty training field in a plain instructor's uniform.
This is where I belong. Not in the shadows, but in the light. Building a generation that can't be fooled.
He faced the new recruits. Eyes that once held cold fury now held a careful warmth. He raised a training sword and began a demonstration. The same precise movements that once humiliated a C rank. He was no longer the president's hidden son. He was Sora, field instructor, and his first lesson was simple: never trust a mask. Sora gathered the trainees closer. His voice, once a weapon, now carried no anger.
You were told that rank is power. That's the first lie. True strength is seeing what's hidden.
He demonstrated a basic slash, then reversed it into a counter that nullified an imaginary attack.
A dangerous opponent doesn't always wear a villain's face. Sometimes he smiles at you across dinner.
The trainees exchanged glances. Some looked uneasy, others intrigued. This was not standard instruction.
I learned that the hard way. The person I trusted most was a spy. Corruption doesn't come with a warning.
He walked among them, meeting their eyes. The training field had become a classroom of shadows.
If even one of them learns to question the mask, this is worth more than any executive seat.
A young trainee raised her hand. How do we know who to trust? Sora paused.
You don't. You verify, you watch, and you never stop looking.
After the class dispersed, Sora walked to the edge of the training grounds alone. The evening light softened the harsh lines of the field. New recruits still drilled in the distance, their voices small.
6 years of cold hate. And tonight, I just feel quiet.
He pulled out a worn piece of paper, the list, now with all 7 names crossed out. Holding it in the fading light, he let it rest in his palm. Then, deliberately, he began to tear it.
She didn't die for me to become a ghost. She wanted me to live.
The torn pieces caught the breeze and scattered, dissolving into the dusk. Sora watched until the last fragment disappeared. Then, the faintest smile touched his lips. He turned back toward the training dorms, his steps lighter than they had been in years. The new generation trained on, unaware they had just witnessed the final page of a long revenge. Months passed. Under Suji's directive, the association slowly began to shed its shadows. Mira's oversight became a cornerstone of the new order, her intelligence network retooled for transparency. Every week, Sora stood before new trainees. The field became his legacy, not the executive halls. His eyes, once sharp with cold fury, now held a patient keenness. He still watched, he still taught. In his quarters, a single shelf held the only things that mattered now. His old training sword hung horizontally, the faded rank F patch still sewn to the hilt. Beside it, a photograph of Kyoko, not as a victim, but as a laughing scientist in her lab coat. Sora would pause there sometimes, no longer driven by revenge, but by the quiet hope that corruption wouldn't win again. The Hunter Association still stood, but its darkest era was over, not because one man destroyed the rot, but because one man taught others to watch for it.